All right, welcome everybody to our health chat, our kids' health chat tonight. All of us that are here tonight are here because we have had life-changing health transformations with Plexus. And we have also discovered that it has been such a huge blessing, not only to us as moms and women, but our entire families. And I think so often people don't realize that supplements can really benefit children as well. And there are just so many kids that struggle with different issues. And so tonight we're going to talk about the products that Plexus offers for kids. And then also we're going to share some testimonies of different issues that our kids have had that we've seen Plexus help with. I'm going to get started with the first one, and I'm going to talk about my 12-year-old Carter. He is my middle child, and just like me, growing up, he's always complained about stomach aches. He's been one of the kids that needs to run to the bathroom often. And growing up, I really never figured out why I was having stomach aches all the time. It was just this mystery where I'd go to the doctor, they wouldn't be able to figure it out. And so that started to happen with Carter when he was about 8. And I just, we let it go on. We tried to kind of figure out what it was that was causing the stomach aches, what was causing him to run to the bathroom. He was missing some school because his stomach would hurt so bad. And I was right at the point where I was like, okay, we need to bring him in. And that was actually right around the time that Plexus released their multivitamin and probiotic for kids called X Factor Kids. And so I was like, I need to get that and we need to try that. And so he started taking 2 tablets every single day. And you guys, over the course of about 2 months, the stomach aches became fewer and far between. And he just stopped complaining about issues, started going to the bathroom regularly instead of having to go urgently all the time. And we weren't having to worry about what he was eating and how he was going to react to it. It really just made the issue go away. And I'm just convinced it's because he had some very unhealthy bacteria in his gut and he just needed help healing that and getting the good stuff in there so that his gut could flourish. And still, you guys, there are times because he's 12 that he isn't consistent with taking that every single day. And we always notice a difference when that happens. And so all 4 of my boys, I have 4 boys, all 4 of them take the X Factor Kids Plus. And then also we have, that we're going to share about this product later, but we have a kids drink as well. And they have taken that as well. And it's been just a huge blessing. I really do feel like it's strengthened their immune system. It's just given them overall nutrition and better health. So that's my story with Carter. It saved us a lot of money in doctor bills and time trying to figure out what was going on. So our next testimony is going to be from Shauna.
Hi guys, Shauna Joseph, and I too am a boy mom. When I decided to give Plexus a try, I was trying it for myself, and I kept thinking, well, I hear there's kid stuff. We'll see how it goes with me first, and then maybe I'll start my kids later. Well, I don't know if you guys know this, but kids a lot of times will inherit the gut health from mama during the birthing process. We won't get into all that, but that's when their first exposure is to the gut microbiome. And so, of course, I had gut issues unknowingly. My children also had them. So when I started Plexus, they're older now, but I had a 10-year-old, an 8-year-old, and then a 7-week-old. Okay. Me, as well as my 2 older boys, suffered from seasonal allergies, like big time. Okay. I noticed it with my oldest Eli when he was a baby. He really early on had little patches of eczema on his skin, little patches, like randomly. And the doctor was like, okay, let's take note of that. And here's some things that we could do to help him. And then, it wasn't horrible, but shortly thereafter, he started having, the allergy symptoms where little baby was like having to be elevated at night so that the postnasal drip didn't mess with him. He got ear infections, he was on antibiotics, and all the time, it was like a reoccurring thing. And the doctor said, Shauna, I want you to know, just be aware, because we would have him on nebulizer treatments from time to time because the breathing was labored. And they said eczema, allergies, and asthma. Those 3 things oftentimes go hand in hand. So be prepared. We're not going to diagnose him with asthma right now, but be prepared that in the future, that might be a diagnosis for him. Well, my second was born. He had chronic ear infections to the point where he needed to get tubes in his ears and all of those things. And my kids were on antibiotics and I thought it was like, I hear about the super bugs, but it's fine. I just need to get them healthy. I didn't know that I was really messing with their health long term. I didn't understand that. Well, anyway, long story short, we moved from the Chicago area to a more rural area in Illinois. And we are like, our house is built right on top of a cornfield. So my kids and myself, our allergies like went up when we moved. And we were on Zyrtec 7-8 months out of the year, plus Benadryl a lot of the time at night as well to really combat these allergies. Shortly after I started Plexus, I noticed that my kids and my dog were experiencing allergy symptoms. My dog was scratching her face. My kids were eyes were itchy and watery and runny noses. And I'm like, wait a minute, why am I not dealing with allergies? So I called my friend that helped me get started and I said, hey, does this gut health stuff also have anything to do with allergies? And she's like, oh, absolutely. The mom guilt set in hard, you guys. I could not believe that I was feeling good and my kids were feeling sick. And so I immediately got them started on the chewables. My oldest one took maybe 3 months. My middle son, it took maybe 2 months. And we have been allergy free for almost 4 years. Like we have been off Zyrtec. Okay. And it has been just such a blessing because I don't know if you guys deal with allergies, if everybody here deals with allergies, but it wasn't just I have allergies. It was the allergies led to the sinus infections, led to the ear infections. My family rarely goes to the doctor for sick visits anymore. And our doctor will often say, oh, you're here for your well visit. I haven't seen you in a year. That's great. Keep it up. I don't want to see you for another year. What a blessing, because it used to be we're in there all the time. So gut health is overall health. It is so important. And I'm so glad that our children are benefiting from the things that we've been benefiting from. And we will avoid certain things in the future because we're taking such good care of their guts now. Go ahead, Maggie. Maggie, you're next.
Okay. So I am actually going to talk about our body cream. I don't know if you guys can see that. So it is, the benefits of this is it defends the skin from abuse from the elements, it purifies the skin, and it improves the appearance and texture and tone. It's got aloe vera, sweet almond oil, grapeseed oil, primrose oil, lavender oil, and rosea oil. It also has a blue green algae in it, which is what purifies the skin. And you guys, if the kids are out in the sun and they get sunburnt, aloe vera is amazing, and this stuff clears up burns just quickly. So, and Sweta, I believe you were next.
Yep. So my story. So I'm a girl mom, no boys at all. And my story was more about, I started taking the products. I knew that there was a kids line and I was like, oh, that's fine. Whatever. We're going to finish our kids gummies and our kids vitamins. And then we'll maybe think about it. Well, my kids were taking the kids gummies and the kids fiber and probiotics, but I was also giving them Metamucil because my girls were constipated to the point where they would have such hard stools that they would get fissures, which is like tiny little cuts, because they would be like, Mama, I'm bleeding again. And I would run in and wipe. And I'm like, yep. And then we'd clean them up. I'd look, I'm like, yep, there is another cut. And, for anyone who's ever experienced something like that, it is very, very uncomfortable. It is painful, right? So normally when I would have patients that would come in with fissures, you give them something to kind of numb that pain, because every time you have a bowel movement, you have to think about this cut that's getting ripped and pulled open again. Now, if your stool is hard, it's like it's going to get ripped and pulled even further. If it's soft, it's a lot easier, right? So we give them stool softeners. So my kids were constantly, like, we had a giant bottle of Miralax. in our medicine cabinet. And we would give it to them, and the pediatrician was like, "Yep, just give them the Miralax, they'll be fine." Never once did I think, oh, this could be gut related, ever. Then I started them on the Kids X Factor without even thinking about it. And I was like, okay, you know what? We ran out all the other vitamins. We'll just start this. Then I noticed that they were going softer. They were going regularly. And then one day it was kind of like, oh, when's the last time you guys had a cut? One of them recently did. And my immediate question was, have you been taking your vitamins? And she's like, no, I've been forgetting. I'm like, there you go. She started back on the vitamins and stool softened up and it was done. Right. So, yeah, your kids may be going every day, but is it hard? Is it so hard for them to pass? Because if you think about it, it's been sitting in the gut for a while before it gets that hard to come back out. Right. And that's not good, because that's not the sign of a good, healthy digestion and good, healthy bowels. So even if you feel like, because constipation, yeah, some people, I know kids who go every several days and then they have to get almost like a Miralax clean out before they can feel better again. Right. So with my girls, we do X Factor every single night. And we also give them some additional products that Shauna's actually going to talk about next. And we love it. From the time, as soon as my youngest was 4, the day she turned 4, she's like, I can take 2 now, right? Because they taste that good. My niece would, my niece is the funniest, because my sister-in-law would cut them up into 4s for her, and it would be like her candy treat. And she's like, where's my other piece? Mama, where's my other piece? And she would go looking for her piece, because then it's like, okay, well, if you behave, I'll give you the other half right now. Right. And so most kids stuff, yeah, you can get the gummies, but you guys, it's sugar. That's what, it's sugar. So yeah, you can get the sugar gummies, which doesn't really do much, or get them something that they're going to absorb and it actually helps their gut. And we're going to go to Jigu next. Jigu? Oh, you're not, you're muted still.
Awesome. Thanks. Thank you so much for switching it up for me. Thankfully, I got out on time today. Hooray. So I'm going to kind of piggyback off of a little bit of what you guys were saying, because I could relate so much to it. And I've only been using it myself for a year, but it's changed my life so much. It got to the point where my kids have noticed, Mom's drinking Plexus. Why is she not giving us Plexus? Right. So of course I had to get them their own stuff. I have them on the vitamins and I have the microbiome drink, and I don't ever have to tell them to take their vitamin. They go and take it themselves. That's how delicious this is compared to what they were using before. And the biggest difference I saw with both of them, so my older one has allergies and a lot of dermatitis issues and things like that. She's not itching anymore at all, which is a miracle, because that girl was itching her whole body in her sleep. She'd wake up and there's scratches all over her, not legit. So I'm so glad that she's done with, I think, and I've done with that. I've probably bought maybe 1 bottle of an allergy medication for them this year, which is unreal living here with all the pollen. And my younger one, she actually had high lead levels at the age of 1, really high lead levels. And I think that's what, and this is my theory, but contributed to her having real bad constipation, where she would just have a real hard time straining when she's going, really hard stools, Swetha was saying. And after being on the microbiome drink and being on the vitamins from Plexus, it's changed. I'm that mom, I'm looking in the toilet, seeing how her poop looks. And it's made such a big difference. to the way that her gut is feeling, the way that she's like absorbing the nutrients. You can tell the way that they excrete that stuff, like what's actually being absorbed from the food they eat and what they're getting rid of. So it's been amazing. And for them to say, Mom, where's my Plexus? Like I got yelled at last month because their Plexus didn't come in time. She's like, that's not fair. So you can tell it's a good supplement that all kids enjoy when they're the ones that are asking and trying to earn it. So a little bit of facts about the vitamin itself, the X Factor vitamin. It is such an all-rounder vitamin. Does it not only have like just your essential vitamin B's and all of your other essentials like vitamin A and E and things like that in it? It's an immune booster. It has the right amount of vitamin C for kids to use, and that this is for any kid that's 2 years and older. It's not broken down like all the other ones that are available over the counter where you have to buy different supplements at different ages. 2 years and older, use it. And it has enough for every age group from 2 and on. It also has so much other stuff that's besides just vitamins for them to use. It has a probiotic mix. Like how often do you find a vitamin that has that in a balanced amount for kids to use, right? Not every kid likes to take pills. There's a lot of kids who you have to force to take their medication and stuff. Think about having to take one versus having to take a probiotic, a prebiotic, and a vitamin every single day, right? And that doesn't taste as good. This is all combined into one, and it is a delicious flavor that your kids are going to come and ask for. I try everything that I give my kids. So I can tell like the vitamin that they're using, it just like breaks in their mouth. So you're not giving something that's so bulky. There's not a lot of additives in it that you have to worry about. It's gluten-free, no GMO, like all the stuff that you name it, it has in it. And healthy. I couldn't find one thing that I thought was harmful to them that I was like, maybe like, I don't know if I want to give it to them. Same thing with like the microbiome drink, right? We all know how essential it is for kids to have their omega-3s and omega vitamins, DHA, all that kind of stuff. If you really look at the vitamins and the active ingredients on the stuff that's available in the pharmacies and, online, not everything has it in there, or does it have the right amount of omegas or DHAs that you need in it. This has that blended in it and a prebiotic. So for people that really don't understand what prebiotic is, it's bacteria, good bacteria that your body needs to absorb all the food that you're actually eating. So if you don't have the right amount of good bacteria, the salad you're eating, for instance, you're not getting all the nutrients out of it because it doesn't have the cells to support and kind of draw out the vitamins and essentials that you need from your salad, right? So it's kind of like a waste. This puts it in there. Delicious drink that they're gonna love. It's like, give them juice, give them the microbiome juice versus giving them orange juice, and you win and they win, right? And it tastes amazing. DHA, so good for their brain development and overall health, along with like omega-3s. I find it to be so essential to be giving it to them at such a young age because of all the stuff that's come out with COVID, right? Like heart conditions in young kids and all this other stuff that we don't even know about yet. So why not start to help them be better and try to prevent what we know of, at least, by giving them a good supplement in advance. So, and hoping that later on in life, that's going to be beneficial to them in one way or the other, right? So I'm grateful to be being able to use Plexus myself, and grateful that I can give it to my little girls to be healthy now versus waiting to be 30 something to do it.
That is awesome. Like, I love what you just said about that, because sometimes I feel like you guys we love our kids. We want to take good care of our kids, but how often do we think I have a goal in my kids' health by next year at this time? We don't really do that unless our kids are struggling with some sort of major health issue, right? Like, we talk about that stuff for ourselves, but we should be looking at our kids and saying, okay, where do I want them to be 6 months from now?
Yeah.
How do I want them to feel, right? And not wait till they're 30 and then try to backtrack. So good.
Exactly. We all know how that feels, right?
Or 40. But I
Right.
also want to call out that Jigu, you're hearing her talk about all of this stuff, but you don't realize, you guys, she is a pharmacist. And then Sweta, if you want to wave, she's talking about stools and fissures and stuff that I don't know how to spell. That is Sweta. She is a physician assistant. So they're talking from a different kind of experience level than some of us have, but we all have experience with life change in these products. And I just love that we have our scientists around to talk through some of the science. I'm going to share a little bit about ProBio 5. So ProBio 5 is something I never miss. I take this every single day. Okay. And we're talking about, Jigu said that, kids 2 and up can have the children's products, but you guys, what about our babies, right? I told you that my youngest was 7 weeks old when I started Plexus, and I was always trying to watch out for him because I had 2 older boys that were going to school and coming home with all the germs, right? And if somebody got sick, or if we were around somebody who was sick, what I did was I wanted to amplify his gut health and immune system, because like 70 to 85% of your immune system resides in your gut, you guys. Okay, so if I want to watch my baby and make sure he's healthy, gut health is a place to start. Well, the person who got me started on Plexus is actually a pediatric dietitian, lactation consultant. I was really hooked up with a lot of wealth of knowledge with this most recent pregnancy. And when JJ was born and he had issues and he went to daycare and came back all snuffly and sneezy, Jen, my friend, told me to go ahead and give him some ProBio 5. Well, you guys, it's a capsule. So I was like, how am I going to give my baby ProBio 5? What are you talking about? What's so nice is it's a capsule that can be opened up and there's powder inside. And it was quite easy for me to open this up and sprinkle out about 1/4 of this into his bottle. Shook it up and he drank it without an issue. Okay. This can also be done for children who are eating table food like yogurt or like warm, like rice cereal. It could be put in there. This doesn't just put good bacteria in our guts. It attacks yeast overgrowth. And if you want to look up the term Candida yeast, Google it, see what it can do. It can wreak havoc on your health. And we all have some of it. When it gets out of control is when our health can really, really suffer and we don't even know. So I'm just going to give you a couple of examples. Does your child have dandruff? That is a yeast issue. Eczema can also be a yeast issue. Toenail fungus, yeast issue, right? The white stuff on their tongues, yeast issues. Have you ever heard of thrush? After a dose of antibiotics, sometimes people have something called thrush. And for babies, it's that white stuff on their tongue. You can't get it off. That's a yeast issue. So gut imbalances that result in yeast issues. Women, you'll know that if you've ever been on antibiotics, and sometimes they'll tell you like, okay, watch out now for a yeast infection, because we're messing with our gut microbiome, and that yeast that's in there that's supposed to be kept at bay is not at bay. And it causes so many more issues than what we call yeast. Okay. So take a look at your kiddos and think about their health and think about some of the things that they struggle with, even if it's not a huge struggle, such as dandruff. You guys, I had dandruff since I was a kid. And I didn't know that it was, I heard someone say fungus and I was like, oh, that's weird. That dandruff is fungus. Well, I'll tell you, I was blow drying my hair one day and realized I wear a lot of black. See, for example, I wear a lot of black. Blow drying my hair one day and I realized I don't have the stuff on my shirt. You guys, I don't have dandruff anymore. 40 years old. I had it my whole life. I don't have it anymore. Wasn't something I started Plexus to address, but it got addressed. So take a look at your kids, see some of the things that they struggle with, and ask the friend that sent you this video. Ask them, could this be a gut issue? I wonder about this. You never know. You could also Google it. Gut health and fill in the blank, whatever it is. I bet you if it's a struggle for you, there might be a way to address it by addressing your gut health. Okay. I'm going to hand back over to Kelly.
Wow. Thank you guys. Oh, I just love it when we come together and we can all share our experiences, because I know everybody's body's different in response, but gut health has so much power. And I think, I just think back to my own childhood again. Like I feel like there's so much that could have been avoided if I had been on a kid's probiotic multivitamin. And so if you're just watching this, you're watching the recording, and you have questions, please reach out, because we can maybe find somebody that has a testimony similar to what you're looking for, or just share the information. So I was just going to share real quick. I have the products, a couple of the products with me right here. This one is our X Factor Kids. I love that they have it like super powered children themed. And then these are the chewables. So they kind of look a little bit like sweet tarts, but so much better for our kids. And taste delicious. They're tropical fruit. Tropical splash is the flavor. And then this is the kids microbiome. I know Jigu said how excited she was, or her kids were, when they got their own Plexus. And that was the same with my kids. When this drink came out, they were like, I cannot wait to have my own drink. And I was thrilled because I knew that it was going to benefit them so much. So I have third grade twins, both of those boys. Every day they pack their little water bottle and they mix up their drink in the morning. And so I'm just going to do that real quick, and then I'll put this in the fridge for tomorrow morning. But it's funny because just this morning, because they started at a new school, so they're sitting at lunch with new kids, right? So you simply just pour the powder right in there, and I kind of love it. I feel like, I don't know if Plexus tried to do this, but I feel like it's like color changing magic. I don't know if they really tried to do that, but it's pretty awesome, because when I start to shake, it's clear, but I'm going to keep shaking while I talk, and you guys are going to see that it literally changes color. So it's really neat. So anyways, look at that. Just the other day at lunch, a kid was telling Oliver, like, why are you drinking juice at lunch? And so he was like, Mom, they think it's juice. And then Henry, the other third grader, goes, well, Oliver, just tell him it's for brain power. Like, he knows. Like, that's what we've been talking about. This is going to help your brain. You are there doing the work you're learning, but this is going to give your brain power. And that's why I love that they bring it to school and they have it midday, and it's like, they're proud of it, right? And so they're trying to convince kids, like, it's not juice. I'm like, just tell them it's your superpower drink, and they'll be fine with it. So it tastes like juice. It looks like juice, but it is not juice. So the other thing I just wanted to share about is we have a really awesome pack that Plexus makes for whole families. Okay, so the one in particular I want to share about, it has something for moms and dads, and it has something for kids. It comes with 4 products. It comes with our pink drink, Slim, and our X Factor Plus, which is our multivitamin for grownups, which is an amazing product as well. And we could go on and on about, but we won't. And then it includes the Mega Kids microbiome drink and the X Factor Kids. So that's a really great combo that I have a lot of moms that are looking for health and also know that their kids really need it. It's a really good value, but it's also just a really good way as a family to start working on getting healthier. And so if that's something you're interested in, ask the person that sent this video to you, and they can share. There's many more options too. You can order the products individually or however you want to do it. But so we just wanted to share with you guys some of our experiences, just the science and knowledge that goes behind how kids feel, how their bodies are developing, and that we have power in that. We don't have to wait for our kids to be sick in order to worry about their health. We can be proactive and bless them with better health by providing these products and the vitamins and probiotics that come with them. So thank you so much for watching. Please reach out with any questions that you guys have, and have an amazing night.